All right, let's just get this out of the way right up front before we get started. I have a massive, unconditional, serious respect for a certain type of outdoor athlete. We're talking about the thru-hikers, those true backcountry warriors, the modern day explorer. These are the people who wake up before the sun comes up, pack up a wet tent, eat something that kind of resembles food, hike 25 or 30 miles just to set up their camp and do it all over again the next day, day in and day out for months at a time. These are the folks who have names like Dirtbag, Gravel, or Pinchy Toe. They live on a diet of ramen and sheer force of will. They battle weather, they battle blisters, and they live with that one existential question of, did I pack enough anti-chafing cream? I mean, these truly are the modern day explorers, and they deserve every ounce of admiration we give them. But today, friends, that's not who I want to talk about. Today, I want to talk about the rest of us. I want to talk about those of us that share a love for the mountains and the valleys and the rivers and the great outdoors, but also have a profound respect for indoor plumbing. I want to celebrate the backbone of the hiking community, and that's the dayhiker. You know, those of us that can prove you can be gritty, dedicated, and resilient, and still be home in time for the 6 o'clock news. The dayhiker community is the greatest melting pot in the outdoors. We are everything from the ultra fit trail runner to the guy who just bought a new pair of boots and is worried about getting blisters in the first 3 miles. But we share one common belief, and that is that the adventure is mandatory. The suffering, that's optional. The real difference between the thru-hiker and us isn't fitness. It is the dedication to comfort. Imagine this. The thru-hiker spends an average of 150 days to complete the Appalachian Trail. That's 150 days trying to find the right placement for your sleeping mat to avoid an awkward route. Or 150 sunrises you're forced to endure because you're already out there on the trail. The dayhiker, in contrast, we get up casually and we look outside, and if the fog's a little too thick, we might say, I think I'm going to push the hike back about another hour and have another cup of coffee, and we'll see what happens. We hit the trail with that same energy and determination to reach a mountain peak or find that perfect waterfall. We have to endure the same hailstorm, but our grit is fueled by a completely different advantage. Our grit is there knowing that we can quit anytime. When a light sprinkle turns into a thunderstorm, a thru-hiker pulls on their raincoat and they hang their head down and they sigh, knowing they're going to have to trudge on. A dayhiker, we also pull on that raincoat, but we might look at our watch and say, yeah, I'll give it another hour. If it doesn't lighten up, I'm going to bail. I'm going to go get a pizza and take a hot bath. That's our superpower. We have the emergency eject button that fires us right back into domestic bliss if things get too tough. The rewards for the dayhiker are immediate, profound, and wonderfully civilized. The thru-hiker finishes a huge day and has to meticulously filter water, pitch a tent, and then spend 45 minutes trying to hang their food so that a bear doesn't decide to have it as a midnight snack. We finish that same grueling mileage, and what do we get? Well, for starters, you get shower victory, right? That hot water that washes away the sweat, the bug spray, and the general shame of your poor life choices on that last scramble of the afternoon. And let's not forget about that moment that you're finally able to sit down on a piece of upholstery that you didn't have to inflate or assemble, knowing that you don't have any chores for the rest of the day that involve digging a cat hole. You've got a roof over your head, warm indoor forced air heating, and a remote control at your disposal. We earn our comfort. We don't just survive the trail, we conquer it. And then we're in bed by 10 p.m. dreaming about that next mountain peak, while the thru-hiker is still wrestling with their wet tent zipper from the previous night. So to every dayhiker out there, you know, the ones with the expensive backpacks full of the gear you're probably never going to use, the ones who complain all the way up the mountain, only to talk about how beautiful the view was on your way back down. I salute your spirit, I salute your tenacity, and I salute your excellent priorities. You prove that you don't need to have a life-altering journey to have an epic adventure. All you really need is 6 hours, a good sturdy pair of shoes, and an unbeatable guarantee of clean restrooms at the finish line. So what are you waiting for? Make me proud. Get out there. The trail and the adventure is waiting. And more importantly, that comfy couch isn't going anywhere.